Oh, let's go.
Yeah, you gotta do it over.
You gotta do it over.
Yeah. It's your girl, Manira.
Jessica Wabbit.
Shanae.
Ayana.
And you're now listening to Why the Fuck Am I Not Famous?
I don't know.
Why the fuck am I not famous? Cause I ain't naked. Chickens ain't got no style and straight brainless. Niggas rocking tits and wigs, so shameless. Meanwhile, we sitting here acting like we whack. Not hating, I'm just stating the facts. Girl, you know what doctor made her ass fat. True. Tommy T made their belly flat. Yeah. And all these niggas think that they can rap. Okay, I got this. I know they were funny. Brains and beauty, my mama ain't raised no dummy. Positive energy, keep them bad vibes from me. Put it all together, we'll be making all the money.
Why the fuck am I not famous? Ha, I ask myself every day. Tweeting, sharing, Instagramming, but still I can't get paid. So I hooked up with my girl and said, bitch, we gotta get made. Because we got the brains, we got the jokes, so let's just start the show.
Welcome, y'all.
Hey, y'all.
Welcome.
Manera, you're looking so masculine today.
Yeah, I'm really feeling this mustache.
Maybe her name is Michael. Say it again.
So she lost. She lost the Silent Library Challenge. Like,
Whatever.
And I finally didn't have to do it, guys.
I knew exactly what card it was.
Yes.
That's cheating.
that
You
is
guys are
cheating.
freaking
I told you to.
cheaters.
I didn't
told
know.
you to shuffle it, and you didn't listen.
No, I'm a sore loser. Seriously though.
You know
She didn't-
what?
So
Did
at
we
least she
not tell
cheated
her?
for the
I
quiz
didn't
card.
see anything. I was just hyped that it wasn't me.
I
this
just
time.
hope you guys see my commitment because I didn't draw eyebrows when they said draw a mustache. Because somebody Laffy Taffy last week was looking a little
It was.
chicken headish.
I
First-
apologize, guys. I know I wasn't there. You can beat me up later.
Okay, we know what day it is. It is Wednesday, and our Hump Day segment gives you an interesting, weird, unknown, or fun sex fact. And last week, we were talking about sex and death. And how did we pronounce that again? Autoerotic asphyxiation was our term of the day. And I wanted to elaborate on it. So we're going to dig deeper into it because it goes way past asking Zaddy to choke you, right? So imagine this. You come home to find your teenage son dead. His semi-nude body is hanging by the neck in his bedroom closet, and pornographic magazines and women's underwear are scattered about the floor. And sounds crazy, but one mother did have to experience this.
I feel
and
so bad
That's
'cause
terrible.
in my
Right?
brain, I see like this kid hanging with panties and stuff on the floor.
yeah,
That's
As long as
crazy.
he's not wearing the panties, it's fine.
But he's dead.
Jesus Christ.
I'm just saying.
Well, as many as 1,000 Americans each year stumble upon the bodies of their loved ones in similar situations. These people die accidentally while practicing what's known as autoerotic asphyxiation, which is strangling or suffocating themselves to heighten sexual arousal and orgasm.
Choke me.
Y'all should know this from last week, right? Because that was our term of the day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to find my page too. Yeah, no, I'm always whatever.
So yeah, while Manera finds that, choke me, daddy.
Nah,
Yeah.
don't choke me.
Okay,
Period.
so
I like being choked.
Me too.
yes, but okay.
Not in this
When
way.
you rob your brain of oxygen, which is asphyxia,
Right.
you experience a high euphoria, dizziness, and lowered inhibition. But that's just before you lose consciousness. And to make their sexual experience more thrilling, autoerotic asphyxiators masturbate while strangling themselves. So they use cords, ropes, scarves, ties. They even suffocate themselves by sealing their heads in plastic bags. So that goes way past asking someone to choke
that's,
you.
That's some nextness.
I'm out of line. That's nothing I'm not signing up for that.
Yeah, so the most of them, they don't mean to kill themselves. It happens often, but they don't mean to. They usually devise some kind of rescue mechanism. So they have a fail-safe. So sometimes...
Like a safe word.
No, like a safe word if you had a partner,
Right.
but they'll tie the slip knot or hang themselves from something that's shorter than they are so that, like, say,
They'll
they
be
could
able
just,
to tippy
they
toe.
could just stand up. But they get so weak and disoriented from the
They
lack
took
of
too long.
oxygen
Yeah,
that
they
they
took
can't
too
pull
long.
the knot out.
Oh
or
my
they can't
God.
stand up,
Wasn't
and
the-
they pass out and die.
Remember the guy from Kill Bill?
Hypoxia.
What is
Hypoxia.
That's an... Oh, yes.
What is hypoxia?
Okay, so
Gotcha, bitch.
we're flight attendants, and when you lose oxygen in the
When
in
the mask
air,
comes down?
and we're like,
Put your
get
mask
on
on.
oxygen, stay on oxygen, whatever. When we say that,
Mm-hmm.
it's because when you lose oxygen, you lose feeling. You get weak, you get dizzy.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the same thing. But
All
what's up over there?
We found a word of the day.
Oh my God! What's today's word of the day?
Hypoxia.
Oh, duh. Somebody want to Google and get the real term?
Bam. That is the
Go
word.
ahead.
That's
So
the real term.
it's an absence of enough oxygen in the tissues to sustain.
Okay, let's
bodily
start this over because I
functions.
don't even know what you said.
I'm sorry. I'm like,
Are you hungry?
no, I'm pushing gum under my tongue.
Whoa.
Spit it out.
Mother style.
Can I use a paper?
Here.
Okay.
You have to crinkle the paper in the mic.
Come
so
on,
they can
hear that I got it right.
ASRM.
Okay. It's an absence of enough oxygen in the tissues to sustain bodily functions.
So when you go into a state of hypoxia, what happens is you start to get delirious. Is it your fingertips? They start to turn like blue.
Mhm.
And you start like
hallucinating a little bit.
Yeah.
You also feel euphoric. So I guess it is the same
kinda
feeling right before they die. So Catherine Pessig, she's a German journalist. She conducted an informal survey to find out why people even get into this. And many of them were inspired by an Alfred Hitchcock movie. And there were a lot of scenes of women being strangled.
What's the name of the movie?
What?
Yeah, you can Google some stories. I actually, no lie, had to watch some of them in
Is
high
it on
school.
Netflix?
Wait,
Wait,
people
it-
record.
No.
People recorded themselves doing this. You said?
No, it's a
No,
movie.
they're movies. They're all Alfred Hitchcock movies. I watched them in high school. I'm sorry if you guys can see me scratching. It's this fake mustache that I have that's like tickling my face, and I have. I'm not digging for treasure in
She's
my
lying.
nose.
She ate ass before she got here.
That's crazy.
So, but they say TV shows and movies are not always the inspiration. One guy said, when I was 12 years old, I tried holding my breath for as long as possible and found it sexually stimulating.
What?
Another
didn't
said,
get
God bless
He
you,
wasn't trying to
my
eat you, no?
girlfriend and I were 13 years old. We had a pillow fight for fun. She suddenly got on top of me. First of all, 13-year-old, why you had a girlfriend?
They must have been
Little kids got
the other.
girlfriends.
Okay. So she suddenly got on top of me, and as a sign of victory, she put her hands around my neck and cried, "I win!" And this was very exciting, and he got an erection. So
I guess he
I have a
won.
question,
Yeah.
right? So when stuff like that happens, let's say it's an adult, and let's say you and your partner are into stuff like that, like choking and gagging and stuff like that. What happens when you accidentally kill your man? Then what?
Well, I wouldn't know
jail.
because we didn't get that far.
You just going to jail, and you're gonna go to jail. and
You think they should go to jail? You think
everybody
they
in
should
there
go to
gonna
jail?
laugh at you like
Yeah.
you killed your buddy.
That's not true because I'm
Before
sure.
you got
But it was
shot.
an accident.
okay, so how many people we say no? We were just having sex. It was an accident, and get away with it.
Now
What do
you the dead one.
And you
How
know
you gonna come back from
and
that?
now what's your mother gonna say?
she's going to hire Olivia Pope.
I'm gonna believe that you got choked because I know you.
When
Right.
No, seriously.
He killed her on purpose.
That's crazy. But if I died or some shit like that,
Don't tell the truth. Tell a lie.
nah, just close the casket because I don't need
last
no body
week- last
coming up.
week-
And I'm going to
pictures.
open it and I'll be like, stupid bitch.
Right.
Last week she wanted to be sat up. So if she died from sex, we're supposed to
But
sit her up.
not like the choking. Like, did I nut first? Like, did I like?
We don't know. We don't know because it happened to a couple in real life. We don't know.
Damn.
So when I open it up, he'll be like, stupid bitch.
You
And
gonna
then I
whisper?
close it. What you gonna say? You gonna come
I
haunt
don't
me?
play with the dead.
Yo, find a median.
I
Find
don't
a
play
median.
with the dead.
I'm gonna be laughing at y'all like, bitches, I got there and y'all didn't.
Nah,
She made it
I
to
don't,
hell.
because I believe it goes. The hotel room I was in last night for work, I couldn't sleep. I think
That's
it's
crazy.
haunted.
Always talks about this.
It's the
fucking
same hotel.
hotel.
So there's a hotel in Las Vegas called the Mayfield, and it's fucking haunted. The floors
Las
are like,
Vegas?
Los Angeles. The floors are like black and gray marble, and every time I
Because
look,
you get the
I
handicap
saw
room.
fucking Casper like floating
And you
in
gotta
the
press the
room.
button to open the door, and the shit closes on its own, and you like,
No, I'm just laying in the bed and like stuff is flickering. And then they're gonna tell me that on the 5th floor,
somebody died.
no, there's like a gremlin looking thing that runs around the
Nah,
whole
stop playing.
place.
Stop playing. Stop playing.
I'm tall, and you will see my big ass kick that shit and run. Like, why would they tell me that? They know I'm a scaredy cat. But back
They
to
were playing
this.
with you.
They're worried about kids in particular doing this because a lot of teenage boys are the ones who often die from it. And suicide is one of the most common causes of death for teens. And they believe that many of the deaths are ruled as
She
suicides.
said dicks.
But it deaths, guys, deaths.
Not
They're
dicks.
ruled as. Come on, now I can't speak English.
Sorry.
Speak English.
Okay, I'm gonna try one more time. So a lot of their deaths are ruled as suicides, but they're really autoerotic asphyxiation accidents.
I guess they're trying
but
to cover it up.
the families try to cover it up by the time the police come, so they don't want it's embarrassing. They don't want the cops to find the pornos and the panties and stuff on the ground, so they clean it up.
No, seriously, that guy. Y'all never heard the guy from Kill Bill? He died from this
Yeah.
in a closet.
Quentin Tarantino.
No, the
Quentin is alive.
He's
actual
alive.
Kill Bill, the guy. The
Kill Bill was real?
No, well, the actor who played.
Yeah, Bill.
Yeah, he
He
died.
was real?
Yeah.
Google, what's his name?
His
Oh,
name is
David.
But his name is Bill.
Carradine.
Yeah, his
I
name is Bill.
couldn't
But it
see
said,
that for a
Not
second.
his
How
real
did
name.
Kill Bill die on Janae's computer?
No, seriously, he died from this.
Oh, he
And
really did, though.
yes,
Dude.
a cord was wrapped around his neck
The nigga
and
name is
his
Bill.
penis.
What?
Now, as far as I'm concerned, his name is Bill.
Oh, so he
but-
had like the choke thing around his balls.
Like the...
I seen it.
Somebody
like the
look it up.
rings. They use those rings.
Yeah, the
for
cock
an erection.
ring.
Yeah, that.
This is not about cock rings. It's about
But he had a
something-
choker thing around his penis.
But he
Did
died
he?
from a cord.
Yeah. Oh, a
And
cord.
one was another cord was around his
Maybe
penis.
he couldn't find the
Oh.
cock ring, so he used the cord
No,
instead.
maybe he was trying to pull himself apart. I don't know.
That's a thing too. Maybe
That's
we can
really
get into
bad.
that next week because
the cock ring thing,
no,
the pulling yourself
breaking your
apart.
penis. Yeah.
What?
Do me
I almost broke the penis.
Okay.
That's different. You almost broke one.
Yes,
That's not a good thing.
I said almost.
He can't come back from that.
He came back.
Copy.
Oh God. But this, guys, as much as we say, oh, it's sexy to be choked, and I like that, this is something that should be best left to fantasy
Well,
because it is leading to a lot of deaths.
No, but
I
seriously,
I feel like
in
when I get
children-
choked, I don't be feeling that. Like, I be feeling like this numbing feeling, and then I do, the safe thing. We got 2 taps and a
you gotta
twist.
save
No,
one.
but now imagine you forget because you lost so much oxygen, and now you can't even.
Nah, you got to soft
Tap
choke
tap
him.
him
Nigga,
anymore.
you know what that's like.
Now you
I'm gonna
can't
be
tap
honest.
him anymore.
I've
and
never
you're
been
dead.
choked to that extent.
Nah,
too.
I do a little
What?
soft choke because if anything harder than that, I'm calling my brothers.
Wait, what kind of choke? Like, choke from the front or choke from the back? Like, you try to yoke me up in the street choke? Or like,
from the back. I'm trying to see what's happening.
no, like when you bent over and
It sounds like a
clap
song.
your head down.
Listen, guys, we moving along
Nah,
to
but-
our no-fly list segment. So as you
Listen.
may or may not know, we just said Jaleesa and I are both flight attendants, and the rest of my girls are just fly. And in this segment, we give you a list of shit that just doesn't fly, whether it be on a plane or in real everyday fucking life. And this week, we really just want to know what the fuck is going on with Uber, Lyft, and all these other ride-shared companies.
Dead ass. B.
Word.
Dead ass.
Because they be bugging.
Overdoing it. They be overdoing it, son. So listen. So I was reading something. I was scrolling the other day on Instagram. And I looked up this thing. It was like an entire article.
You can't
About-
find it.
If you need
Actually,
it, I
You
found
sounded
Actually-
like me. You can't find it. You can't find it.
It's in my
Actually,
messages.
it's right here.
You
So
got
read it then. We taking a long
So-
time.
So it says, this just happened in real time. I feel compelled to share my story. I just got off of work and requested should I say the name? A rideshare company. And like usual, from the airport, I walked to the rideshare pickup area and I was looking for the make and model of
No,
the vehicle.
they need to be held accountable. Uber, that's fine.
It was the Uber.
Yeah.
The Uber.
The Uber. She requested a Uber. So she was looking for the make and model of the vehicle. I requested and I didn't see the car. And all of a sudden, a guy asked me, was I Teresa? I was so tired. I worked 4 flights, been up since before dark. That's that flight attendant life. And I responded and I said, yes. I walked to the car and I put my hand on the door handle and something immediately clicked. This isn't the make or model of the car that's on my app. I walked to the back of the car and the tag number was different. I told him this wasn't the car on the app and he said his other, in quotation, cars was parked in the garage. Why would you have your parked car at the airport and picking me up in this one? He knew I thought something was wrong and he volunteered and said he'll just cancel. Minutes later, I requested another driver and a very nice lady, and as we were chatting on the ride home, she started sharing some of her experiences as a driver and as a rider. She said that people now have scanners, the strangest thing. They have the capabilities to pick up Uber information for riders, names, make and models of cars, etc., etc. I felt so compelled to share this story with her because what if the unknown would have occurred? With human trafficking and sexual assault all the time. Listen.
Being very real.
Period.
So, okay, so
Y'all trying to sell the
with
pussy.
this, we cannot blame Uber.
No.
This
Yes.
No.
You can. You need to make a more secure system.
I think
There's always
that
going to be somebody
who
to
can
find
hack
it.
something.
Yeah. At this point, you have to say, let
You
me
need to
check
be
the
more
license
aware.
plate. Because,
Like-
sometimes we're just tired and we just hop in. No.
The
you
other
have
girl.
you have to stop and look at the license plate and make sure it
Yeah.
matches. Make sure that the driver matches the picture that they send you.
Sometimes
honest,
the
I'm
idea on the
worried.
back is not the person though. When you
It
get
is.
in.
No, sometimes
People
when I
share
order
cars.
Uber Eats and I think that Sean is coming upstairs on his bicycle, and then I get Maria, I'm like, whoa.
She dug in
see,
your bag.
No, but last night it was actually the reverse. I was waiting for a woman, and I told her she can come upstairs to my door in the hotel, and it was a man who came up. So it does happen. And you know
What
what?
did you say? Did you
My
get a
dick was in the
refund?
box.
I'm not opening the door.
so
Leave
My
I,
dick in the
I-
box.
It could have been. In
I
the
hit up
box.
Uber, and they're just like, "Sorry, we'll contact the restaurant." And I was like, "Oh hell no!" I wrote. We were going back and forth
You
for
know
like
we
an
watch
hour.
SVU too much.
SVU, right?
SVU, whatever.
Right.
Watching too much.
He
Nigga,
was gonna
Olivia,
he was gonna put your
Olivia
ass
done
in
gonna
the
taught us
SUV.
well enough. Olivia and Elliot.
Leave the fries at the door,
Well,
my
I
nigga.
got a story, okay? Because I was getting off of work the other day, and it was really late, and I ordered my Uber, and the Uber finally gets there, and I'm sitting in the Uber. I'm sitting in the Uber, and the Uber driver, literally, he says to me, "Oh, I'm so hungry," and I was like, "Oh, okay, well, it's late, not many stores open." He was like, "Yeah, I'm hungry. I want some pussy," and I was just like,
my God.
"The fuck?"
Bitch, I'm getting the fuck out that
Listen,
car.
when I say I was scared, like
I'm calling my
my
nigga.
body left me, and I was just like, I don't know what the fuck to do right now. Should I just cancel
Did
this
you
shit?
call someone?
Not only did I get my money back, but I was just like, you know what, fuck that. I'm not gonna ride with Uber again, right? Then I did the shit again.
Yeah, I be doing that shit too. I be lying.
Did something happen?
I lied to them
Yes,
last night.
I
and told them cancel
leave,
my account.
but then I be coming back again.
Right,
Nice.
because I'm going to work. I'm going to work, and now I'm going to work, and the Uber driver is talking to me, and y'all always make fun of me, talking about like, hey, your voice is kind of,
Yeah,
sexy operator.
The fucking
got that
phone
sexy voice.
operator.
So
period.
The Uber driver says to me, "Oh, well, your voice is so sexy. Like I haven't talked to someone in a voice like this in so long." And he wanted to make love to me.
Oh.
He'll make love to
Long
you.
story short,
Like you want me
the
to.
Uber was free, and I
hold
took
you
the train.
You took the train.
That's a fact. I was
Well,
getting up out of there.
Jaleesa and I were
That's your,
just
that's
in
your
LA.
second shot.
Oh
No.
my
You know,
God,
it's
nigga,
done
no.
for me. It's
No,
a
no,
dub.
no, no, no.
It's a lift now.
Jaleesa and I were in LA, and we ordered a Lyft. So we were coming from the mall, going to back to our hotel. So he's in there, and we're hungry. So we're like, okay, where's a good place to eat? Where did you?
No,
what do you
nigga,
suggest?
tell the whole story.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Nigga said, "What's your name?"
Not yet. That wasn't. Oh no, yeah, she's right. I want. So when I speak to people, I like to address them by their names.
Right,
So
yeah, it's
I
personal.
whispered. It was from her phone. So you can see the person's name on the phone. So I'm like, "What's his name?" And she goes, "Dede."
Damn.
So. No. She didn't say Dede. You just missed Dede. Zaquan, you hear this? Jaleesa missed you.
First of
Jaleesa
all,
misses you.
and that's just my friend. And that
No,
is
she
just my
said
friend.
Debo.
Do we all have a day?
She said Debo. No, she said Debo. So now this guy's in the front. He's like 6'4". He's big. He's brolic.
The
Like,
nigga
he's
lean
brick. His chair
Lean
was
back.
all the way leaned back. So I was like, hey, Debo. This bitch starts laughing. And then he chuckles. He's like, that's not my name.
That's crazy. And you
That's
got it
fucking
wrong.
rude, Madeira.
It is, but it wasn't on purpose. I thought his name was fucking Debo.
But when you,
Oh.
but I'm laughing and whispering to her, like, nigga, you should know that something is up. That's not the nigga name.
I was hungry. I was trying to find a
I was
restaurant.
like, I literally was like,
Debo. So I'm like, hey, Debo, right? He's like laughing, this brick nigga.
La 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 la
Right,
la.
so I'm in the back. I'm about to get shanked, right?
That's crazy.
And speaking of shanked, so I'm like, okay, so what's a good restaurant? And he's like, oh, well, I really don't know. I don't know any good restaurants. I said, so when you want to take a girl out, where would you take her? And he was like, I don't really go on dates. I'm like, damn, nigga, how you get ass then? He's like, well, do I really have to take a girl out to get ass? I'm like, well, it depends on the quality of the ass
you trying
to get, right?
Grade A
Right.
pussy.
I guess you don't have good.
So he's like, whatever. No, it's probably really good. That's why he didn't have to take him out to get it. But whatever.
He's like, be good. I take that. That's too lobster.
So we're driving. It's a little bit quiet. He goes, all right, so I'm gonna keep it real with you.
Oh God, what's gonna happen?
He's a virgin.
He said the reason why I don't know what restaurant to suggest.
Let me say it. Because I've been locked up for the past 10 years.
The fuck?
Not
So
10.
you wasn't getting no pussy.
12.
12 years.
He said, I just came home. I've been locked up for the last 12
So
years.
this nigga wasn't getting no pussy. He
So
lying.
then again, it got quiet again, right?
He got scared.
Right? It got really quiet. And he goes, don't be scared.
Yo,
It's too late.
yo.
I'm over here looking at the locks for the door.
And both of us is like, it's cool. My location would have turned the fuck on.
Hello.
So I'm like,
But wait, there's more.
There's
I'm like,
more.
no, we're okay, whatever. So, we're conversing. We're talking like, okay, like trying to keep it nice and calm. I wish I can go to the marathon store. Like trying to talk about it. So now
early for that joke.
we get to the hotel, and he's like asking too many questions now. So y'all stay here all the time?
Nah, nigga.
What time y'all leave in the
I
morning?
can't stop looking at my mustache.
Mind your motherfucking business. Mind your business. So now we getting out
this
the wait,
whole
wait,
over
wait,
here
wait.
talking about, yeah, we leave at 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
But
we do stay here kind of often. I mean, only when we stay in LA.
No, I was not. No, I was not. No, I wasn't. I watch too much TV for that, but not enough to save myself because we're stepping out, and he goes,
Wait, do the turnaround.
he goes,
Turn around like Chucky, nigga.
he said, because he was leaned all the way back, so he's like, right? So he's like, yeah, so put my number in your phone.
Now he's telling you.
No, he didn't ask.
No.
Like, it wasn't like so do you want to exchange numbers? Put my number in your phone.
So you could call me later.
No. And call it right now.
Oh,
So I'm like, and I really called
What's
him.
his number, my nigga?
No,
He
no,
blocked?
no.
He blocked.
So whatever.
She don't want to talk about it no more.
I'm traumatized.
Prison bag.
Right.
yeah, he was definitely tired of not getting no pussy because he had enough mussy in the.
I've never heard of that in my life.
So
Really?
you know what?
Man
It's-
pussy.
you think
12 years.
you think in one side, I'm happy for him that he can have a job when he comes out. He's
Nigga say.
convicted felon. He was gone for 12 years. He's home now. He said he was home for the past 2 months,
Lift just
and
not
he has
anybody.
a job. Yeah, that's what I said. We were waiting for the elevator.
I mean,
I
y'all
was
should feel
like,
safe though.
nah, I
He
was
gonna
waiting
keep
for the
you
elevator.
safe.
I was
Nigga
like,
been
damn,
locked down.
Lyft just hired
Anybody.
like, because you know what? Who knows what could have happened? I really wanted to ask.
What'd you do? Why you
12
was-
years? 12 for nonviolent, but I was scared. I already called the nigga Debo.
Was he black? Yeah.
Yo.
Debo.
Then you find out that he say some shit like, "Nah, I got off, caught a body,
Or
my man
rape.
took the charge."
Rape is different. I would have been
Was-
scared.
Yeah,
But
nah,
my thing
rape
is
is
murder.
different.
I
I
think
think
that
that
murder.
if they're hiring these kind of convicted felons, it has to be for a nonviolent crime. Because
No, you didn't hear about the guy that just got caught. He's actually a war. What's the thing when you
veteran.
No, when you
Hero?
make. No, God.
Guitar hero.
Sorry. That's the Trini in me.
Okay,
Fuck
so
it.
when you go, see now I can't remember because y'all said too many fucking things. When you go to war and that person that tortures you, so he was one of those people torturing U.S. soldiers, and he was driving Uber, and they just found him.
Wait, so like, did he like get dishonorably discharged? And then
What are you talking about? Dishonorably discharged. He
was a
is an enemy
torturer.
to the state. I mean, to the country.
That's the word. Oh, wait, he was torturing Americans.
yes.
My bad,
And
son,
simply,
I thought
if
it
you
was.
simply Googled his name, you would have found out. Like it was not a secret.
So they don't do
So
background
what kind
checks.
of background check are they doing?
The
Well,
clean
you know,
one.
I used to do Lyft and Uber.
Oh
'cause,
God,
you
they
know,
really do hire.
a party live.
I I used to do Lyft and Uber back when I used to live out in Florida because you don't need to have a TLC. And honestly, they do an intensive background check. Like they ask you like you have to list all the places that you worked for the past 5 years, and sometimes they didn't
call because I know you put my number down. Like, girl, if they call you, I used to be your babysitter.
I did that today.
Who else are they gonna call?
Ghostbusters.
Because I can't put my mama down as a reference. So yes, Manera, absolutely yes. She's been my manager for the past 6 years.
That's crazy.
No, but it's scary though.
It is very scary, and I feel like it. During what was that big thing that was in Atlanta recently? Was it the Super Bowl? Like they had this huge event, and they were saying that
no,
maybe I don't know.
It was All-Star Weekend.
Maybe no, that was in LA. But I feel like a lot of them were saying that a lot of the Uber drivers that were there, they were kidnapping these women and they were sex trafficking them going forward. And I just feel like, like when I think of sex trafficking, I think of Lifetime, and I just see a whole bunch of white girls. So I was like, I don't think
we
that,
the main ones.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
we know.
nah, that don't happen to us.
I
But
don't
then
want them chaining me up and I'm twerking for
for
all eternity.
No, they want this melanin in our organs. Don't forget.
Right, and that's what I kept saying. I was like, they are probably really like taking
War criminal. Sorry. That was the term I was looking for.
I like torturer more.
10 years. 10 years later.
I remembered it.
Though.
I
I
remembered
feel
it.
like a lot of cab drivers do come on to me when I go in the car, and it does make me
And it
feel
makes you feel
uncomfortable.
so
Uncomfortable.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So it's like, what can we do? Like, what tips and tricks do you guys have? Because I know this is probably something that a lot of our listeners have experienced. What tips or tricks or advice that you can give to our listeners? We'll post something and on Why the Fuck Am I Not Famous?
Yeah.
On Instagram. Jesus, my mouth is just
No, it's
juicy.
It's hot. It's hot.
Yes, because I have underbreast sweat right now, and I'm
Your
just like,
under titty probably smell like
have
nickel.
and I'm like, Jesus Christmas, I'm burning up. So, yes, at Why the Fuck Am I Not Famous? You know, guys, just give us information, and we can share it with other female listeners as well, too, and male listeners as well. And
they
just,
need it too,
'cause
because
they
they're
need
getting
it too.
kidnapped as well.
So
You
I
never
think
know.
we can start off by like what we said before was making sure, the correct license plate.
Checking it
Make
twice.
sure it's the same person driving.
I'm gonna have
the
that
same
nigga
make
pee in
and
the
model
cup.
of the car. And if at any time you do feel uncomfortable, don't freeze. Don't be scared to
phone
say,
a friend.
please pull me over. Pull me
no.
over and get out.
You think so?
No, this is what
Girl, you never see what's that movie? You never seen Split? I know you seen
I
Split.
never do that. I'll be like, I'll interject and be like, oh, I'm talking to my boyfriend. Like, I'll fake that I'm
that's
speaking to
good.
somebody,
That's
so
a
they
good
know
one.
that I'm talking to somebody. Like,
Okay.
they're expecting me.
Nah,
when you was
been
when
there.
they was
She's
in
you know the
Split,
girls that walk down the street, me included, that fake
Cross the
like
street?
No, I fake like I'm listening to
Yeah,
somebody.
my
I'm
headphones are
talking on
playing.
the phone. Like, yeah, girl, Yana, you stupid. Meanwhile, this bitch Ayana does not pick up the phone for me.
Right. I
And
don't.
she doesn't pick up the phone for
I don't pick up the
anyone.
phone
Let's
for
just put
anybody.
that out there
Oh,
for no
Yana,
one.
you so funny.
Help me,
You be
bitch.
laughing
Yes,
Yes.
nigga.
and you answer yourself back.
But
Yes.
in Split,
Oh, no, you
the
bugging.
movie, the nigga, they was with their parents, and the girl looked behind and seen that her dad
Oh,
was on
yeah.
the floor, and he got in the car, and while she kikiing, talking to Ayana in the back, she just broke it down, talking to Ayana in the back, she's like,
He broke it down and my
excuse me, sir, I think you have the wrong car, and he turned around.
It makes
Yeah.
the shit out of her. That's why I don't bring attention to it. Like, if I feel like
Right.
I can't beat you,
Mhm.
I'm gonna act dumb. I'm
Right.
gonna act real stupid
Right.
because I'm gonna get your ass.
So I
just
can't
think
tell
y'all
him to pull
jumping
over.
out the window now because y'all just presenting
For
all
real,
these
right?
psychotic scenarios.
Nigga,
But
you
these
was
are
a
different people.
Tell me something that
train.
happened like something that's happening on the concourse. Like my people want to know what's going on Townsend or some Sheridan. Like,
I've
tell
actually
me
been
something
locked
over there.
in a cab before.
No, you got locked in a
What?
cab?
Do tell.
I've
think
been
you were
locked
gonna
in a cab
jump
because
out?
no, he didn't want to. Like, he was trying to talk to me. He wanted my number. He was just like, "Oh, okay, like, I want a wife or whatever, or like a second wife. I don't know."
He was from
talking-
Africa?
Maybe
Because
he was
I'm with
Muslim.
that shit.
I'm not
I'm
with
with
that
the
shit.
shits too,
I wasn't.
especially
I
if his
wasn't
name
with
is
it. He's
Kevin
like,
Gates.
yeah, you have 2 kids. Come on, let's, I'll take care of you. I'll take care of your family. I'll do everything
So
you
he
need.
a
And I'm just
man,
like,
man.
no, thank you.
You know what? Ask him if he has any shea butter because my nose and my lip are on fire right now from this fucking fake mustache.
Well,
It's
fuck all of
obviously
you, 'cause
not.
I
Yo,
almost got
and it looks like her
kidnapped.
nose is swelling too.
But yeah, so he
No, guys, I
literally
think I'm really
locked the
allergic.
doors and
So the lip line, let me
passed
see.
my house. He passed my house. The
Good grief.
location, guys. He passed the house. You're not listening to me.
I'm sorry.
I'm listening.
Past the location. And then I cursed him out.
What did
then
you say?
he stopped?
Yes, because I threatened to kill that motherfucker. I said, if you don't get me out of, if you don't unlock these doors, I'm gonna beat your ass. Like, I'm gonna literally strangle you. And he's like, oh, I don't mean to hurt you. I don't mean to offend you. Blah, blah,
No,
blah.
you trying
You
to
I'm
already
like,
did that
I was like,
shit.
you're threatening my life, and I'm gonna kill you.
Or
With
maybe,
what?
or maybe calling the cops. You can call on speaker.
Nah, I'm not
So
calling
she a
no
snitch.
cops.
No,
I'm gonna
just
kill
saying-
you. Like, that's what's going down.
Here's my thing, though. Tell me what to do in a scenario, in an event
cannot.
where my
I just
Uber
know.
driver's practicing his English on me, and I'm not getting everything he's saying, but he won't shut up. Because the last Uber I was in, the nigga kept telling me, oh, my wife has a boyfriend and he lives with us. So now I'm like, wow. And then I don't know, I think he was from like India or something. And he just kept jabbing me. And in the back of my head, I'm like, yo, all I could see was that Golly Ma song on Manira's Instagram. The Michael Jackson Thriller.
You guys have to. You have to.
Golly Ma. I was
You
dead.
guys have to go to my Instagram page at
Not Your Average Pro.
Yo.
Just scroll. You'll see like it's an Indian Michael Jackson. And if you do not laugh at
It's
that
better
video,
than the Michael Jackson one.
you don't laugh at that video, we cannot be friends.
Right. Ha, 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 ha. That's my shit. My favorite part was the like, what was that? He took it there.
He was in character.
That shit was that shit. If y'all don't play that shit before we go out, when we go away, I need to get hype.
Speaking of going away, y'all, we gonna be thotting and popping.
Yeah, but by the time they hear this, we would have already been back with our suntans.
Crazy. I hope I had fun with you then.
Kissed.
Oh God, y'all really had me crying in here. That's really
So
funny.
it'll be like Jolly Ho.
Golly Ma. That nigga is lit.
Okay, sorry. Go to the
need to
please.
stop, guys.
Not Your Average Pro, please. He's in a red Michael Jackson suit. Please watch the video.
It's hilarious.
Okay.
We gonna post it on the Why the Fuck Am I Not Famous
Yes,
Instagram,
yes,
so you guys,
yeah. I'll do
so
that
you
too,
guys
yeah.
can see exactly what we're talking about, and you
Ooh.
guys can Marley Ma with us as well.
Okay. Moving along, girl.
Did you hear?
Did you hear? So I don't know how to pronounce her name. Charlize Theron? Charlize Theron?
I think it's Charlize.
Charlize Theron?
I don't know.
Nigga, fuck that.
Okay, so we
Y'all know
know
that
she
white lady
adopted.
with the
Yeah,
black
she adopted
Yeah.
2 children from Africa, one boy and one girl. And recently, she has said that her son is now her daughter. So he's
All the way
transitioned.
around.
So since he was 3, it was a lot of controversy because he would come out in pink spandex and with a long blonde wig, or have his hair braided with beads on the bottom, and people wouldn't understand why she was dressing her son as a boy.
Female.
I mean, as a girl, yes. And recently she said that he told her, like, Mommy, I'm not a boy. I am a girl. So she now says that she has a transgender daughter, and she raises her son as a daughter. And his name is Jack. And he goes around
Jackson.
and says, my name
Jackie?
is not Jack. It is Jacqueline.
Jacqueline.
Yeah.
Of all names.
So, I mean,
Could have just said
I'm not
Jackie.
going to lie. So when I first read the story, you know I'm a Cancer. I'm extra sensitive. I cried. Like,
I'm not crying.
no, I did. I cried because it's a couple of different things. So from one standpoint, you kind of want to be happy that we are in a society where now you can say how you feel. You can say, you know, I do not identify with a boy. I identify with a woman, and it be accepted, and having a parent that'll say, okay, and not, you know, be banned from the family or
Beaten?
banished or beat. So at that standpoint, I feel like, okay, at least, you know, we're in this type of world now.
Openness.
But I cannot lie. Like, I really felt like, okay, you took one of my black children and
That was my concern.
confused him. Her. I mean, at 3 years old.
you
Give
don't
your
know
honest.
shit.
I take that back, and I
Uh-huh.
need you guys to take a listen to this. So,
Okay.
one of my family members, I won't say because I don't know how comfortable he is with it, but one of my family members, he, ever since I was younger, growing up with him, I knew that he was different because he would be at my house, and my older brother growing up, he would be outside, playing video games and stuff like that, and he would want to hang out with me and play with my dolls. And at that time,
That's
at that
okay.
age, he's like 5. So and then as he gotten older, he would want to be like, okay, I want to play in your hair, and I want to do your hair, and he would want to do things that my sister or my girl cousin would want to do, and not things that like my brother or my boy cousins would want to do. So I always knew that he was different. As he progressed and he got older, he kept it a secret because, again, in the West Indian culture, things like that is not permitted. And he basically hid for a majority of the time. And once he finally got old enough, and this is more recent, I want to say maybe he's in his mid-20s right now, is when he finally decided to tell the family, like, listen, I am gay. And this is the life that I chose, and I need you guys to accept it or not. And I feel like a lot of people, when it goes to, like, transgender or being gay, a lot of people sit there and they're like, it's something that they see on TV or they saw growing up. I saw it firsthand, and I saw it that he was born this way.
Okay, so now for me, just in regards to that, the difference for me is like, okay, yes, your son may be gay, but how much are you pushing the transgender
Where that little boy got those clothes
Yeah.
from?
on him
His sister.
by dressing him
Okay.
like a girl? Like, you don't have to, he may very well identify as a female and really feel that in his spirit.
Right.
But what if he's just gay?
Confused.
And now you're pushing the clothing on him and the hair, and
Yeah.
how much
Do you
does
think a parent would do that?
Here's my
Okay.
thing. For me, though, so
Because you guys are both parents, so you can all of you
So-
guys are parents. So you think that, like, if your child was to come to you and they told you something like that, and they decided to say, like, you would push on them, like, okay, well, here are these, let's go shopping in this section instead
No.
of that section. You know what I mean?
So it depends. No, it doesn't depend, because I wouldn't push something like that on my 5-year-old or my 3-year-old. The issue for me is, from an educational standpoint, when you teach children are natural sorters, right? They'll assess that blocks go with blocks, green goes with green, boys go with boys, girls go with girls, right? But at the end of the day, it's a different term when a child says, I know that I am not a boy. I'm a girl inside, right? When you teach a child and you have kids playing in a classroom, then they'll do stuff like a little boy will go over to play with a doll, which may truly not be an issue. Because if that little boy has access to a baby doll, he can assume the role of being a daddy, right?
But also,
and not be the mom,
Yeah.
right? But what are we saying, or what is the verbiage that you tell a child when he says, no, I really want to be the mommy? I was at work the other day, and a little boy came in and was like, excuse me, I really need your help, right? He had to be at least 5. I looked down, and the nigga nails is blue. His toenails,
I don't have a
right?
problem with
Not only was his toenails blue, right? He had on a skirt.
Oh.
So I let my son go to school in a Hulk uniform, a Hulk costume. I thought that was cute,
It's masculine.
right? But he had a Hulk baby. He called it Baby Hulk, and he gave it a last name. But I didn't tell him it was okay that he was the mommy, because he's the father in that situation. But this child now is going outside in pink leggings at 5, or a lipstick at 3. Like, why are we? Who's giving him the material to say that he even understands that?
So that's what I wanted to get into. So real snippet, and this is from his grandmother. So it said 8-year-old Jack Wilson was on a weekend visit to his grandparents' house in mid-December 2016 when he informed his grandmother that his name was really Jacqueline. Grammy, my name is Jacqueline, he complained as he walked into the room and sat down at the kitchen table for lunch. He had just received Christmas presents from friends of his grandmother, but it was addressed to Jack, and he was upset about it. So why is that your name? His grandmother asked. In response, she set a plate of chicken and rice in front of him. They had to add the food because they know people was reading this. He replied, because I'm a girl now. She said, what makes you think you're a girl? He said, it's my gender. So she pressed him.
Why you know that?
Well, what's a gender? He stared back at her, puzzled, and said, I don't know. So this, for me, is where I feel like now it's pushed on him.
Right.
So he's not even now. I feel like children are naturally explorers. They you won't, if you put, like you said, if you put a doll in front of a boy, they don't understand, like, I can only play with G.I. Joe. I can't play with Barbie. They will play with toys.
Right.
Correct.
We teach them, no, boys play with fire trucks, girls play with princesses. Like, we teach them.
Which is not
Boys like to dress up just as well as girls do.
Yeah, but they have.
My son dresses up.
Yeah, but you'll never see in
We play
school
game.
the boy will dress up as a female character. Like, it'll be okay for the little
Like, he
girl
ain't
to
gonna go
assume
as
the
Elsa.
role of a fireman and it not be feminine, or a police officer and it not be feminine, or we like they don't give it a direction. Like, we say,
Well,
oh,
if y'all watch Blackish, which y'all keep giving me shit about,
damn.
it was an episode on that too. But whatever. Sorry, continue.
But like, even with
She
color,
really
like,
want us to watch that show.
It's really good. We need to support our black shows.
we
We don't have
will.
enough of them. We don't have enough. We don't have enough people to look up to. And then when we don't have them on TV, it gets canceled. It's gonna be like, oh fuck.
Like, why they cancel
because-
Star?
No, because it was shit.
Shit.
I actually never seen that.
You
What
don't
is
need
that?
to. You're not missing anything.
I know my listeners can attest to this, and they
No.
will support me. Star should have not been canceled. Go on.
I think we should make Jaleesa take a shot every time she can say, and I'm sure people can attest
Fuck
to
you.
that. Because she says it every episode.
I do not.
But yeah, so for me, it's in this situation, it's a little hard because you are pushing these words into the child's mouth.
Yeah, because he doesn't know what they mean yet. Even I don't know what the fuck they mean yet. I'm still confused about transgender. I'm still confused about what they actually are. I don't understand it.
I know that you because we've had conversations. So I will take my son, or I myself will give him a manicure because I feel like boys need to be neat. I like
Yeah.
a man with a manicure too. I know
Groomed.
you're comfortable with your your son getting colored nail polish.
He doesn't want it, but if he did, it wouldn't be a problem. I would not give a
I don't
shit.
think it would. I think I want to be as gender neutral as possible because I don't want my son to grow up with any sort of bias towards anyone else.
Right.
But sometimes it's hard to say because when it's your child, it's like you're always going to be conflicted. Like, damn, what am I going to do? I don't want to I don't ever want my son to be scared to speak to me about
Exactly.
something because I don't want to lose my child. Period.
Yeah, because then they won't
But
come to
in
you.
this situation, it's not her. To me, it's a lot of things wrong with this scenario because let me tell you something. I will give you the read when it comes to gender neutrality, but should she even have this child? Like, is this okay?
I don't know. It's just fucked up all the way around. It's a race thing. It's an age thing. It's like
you don't
want
want to sound fucked up. You want to sound like because I do accept everyone to each their own. Like, whatever you decide to do with your heart and your body, that is your decision. But I also struggle with feeling like, why would you take one of my black children and do this? Like, it's
Right.
just honest how
coulda
I
took
really
your own.
honestly feel.
No,
But I don't-
seriously, it makes sense because to me, it's just like, damn. Now, not only did I lose another black man somehow down the road because he's a girl now, or whether it's she taught him this way. Because I'd rather him have been a gay black man by choice as he gets older and it just happens into it. But he's so young. And my thing is, yes, again, naturally you'll feel something from young and maybe it may possess into something else or maybe it might just go away. It may have been something, it may have been a phase. Because you can't say, oh, he combed my hair, Well, there are straight men who do hair.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But in the sense where now it's like, oh, so who do you like? Or what are we questioning him and saying, like, what do you like? You like boys now?
I mean, he's not really. It's really not a question of his sexuality because he's not that.
Well, how
age
do we
yet.
know what he's
What is he
attracted
being
to
exposed
sexually?
to? My thing is, it may just be him trying to find himself at
Who
a
he
time,
is, yeah.
right? Which is okay, but
But the lipstick, the hair,
The blonde,
the
and
clothes.
the long blonde wig.
If my son
the-
came to me and said, "Mommy, I'm a girl," I'm gonna
How
need
would
you.
you feel?
You gonna be a girl when you 18, my nigga.
yeah.
Right now, you gonna be this boy.
Yeah,
That's what I gave you. That's what you
I
are.
don't know how I so my son was raised in Hell's Kitchen, and 10 years ago, Hell's Kitchen wasn't as openly gay as it is now. So
Word.
I remember the first poster of a gay man, and it was on the parking lot, and we're walking, and no, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. It was a poster on
Billboard?
no, it was by the parking lot. But there was a gay man walking down the street, is what I wanted to say. So gay man's walking down the street, and he was very flamboyant.
Too much.
So Christopher was pointing at him like, why is his face like that? Oh my God. And I was so embarrassed. Like, Chris, stop. Like, what are you doing? Don't do that. No, Mommy, you gotta look. And he's pointing, look. So the guys walking by and we're just like, I'm so sorry. But meanwhile, my child wasn't even talking about him. He was talking about the poster that was on the parking lot. Christopher, that's another story. Like, he has bisexual friends.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep.
I've asked him, like,
At this age?
at this age.
Yeah.
So I said, what do you mean? Because he came home to me. Thank
wanna
God. I'm
have
like I
no
said,
kids,
that's why I said,
man.
please always have open communication with your children.
Mine's gonna be as open
Make it
as hell.
comfortable.
Don't have kids,
Because
guys.
he came up to me and he
Open.
asked, Mommy, what is bisexuality? Just like that.
Right.
And this was in the 6th grade. And we had to
The
have,
6th grade.
yes, this was in the 6th grade.
I
and
wasn't even kissing in the 6th
no,
grade
and I
yet.
had to tell him. But at first I asked, so where did it come from? He
I-
said, well,
I knew I
such
was
and
gay in the
such
sixth
told me
grade.
like he feels it in his heart and he needs to tell one of his friends because, you know, he's hiding it all the time that he is bisexual.
That's
so
okay.
what is it? And so, like I said, have that open conversation so they're not, you know, it's
Y'all
not
saw
something
Moonlight?
confusing. I do.
Oh, God.
I don't like that movie. I don't
Manera
care.
talks about it all
That's,
the time.
I don't like it. I didn't
No,
like
when
it.
it first, like, when
Oh.
you went to
You know,
go
I'm
see
just
it.
all about supporting black. I love anything black. I'm going to watch it. And then I'm going to complain if I don't like it, but I'm going to go support it anyway.
Are you going to watch that black movie that's coming out?
Oh my God, next week.
Which
Girl,
one?
let's if your mother.
Girl,
know what?
did you hear?
I DM'd it. to
She
you.
did.
You'll see it later. We'll talk about that next week. That's why I sent it to you guys. But guys, how do you feel? I know this is
It's
a
hard.
touchy subject.
Yeah, this
I
is a
know
hard
it is.
subject.
Let us know how you feel. We're gonna open a conversation on our page at Why the Fuck Am I Not Famous? Maybe we can do this live as well, so we can actually hear what our listeners have to say about it.
Let's lighten up the mood, y'all.
I don't even
lighten
know. I don't even know how to lighten the mood now.
Let's go
Okay,
into our
so-
next segment.
Yeah, so why the fuck am I not famous? So this week's Why the Fuck Am I Not Famous segment is all about self-imposed limitations. So unsuccessful people tend to say things like, I'm just not good with numbers, or I really hate studying and I just don't think I could run a successful business. They put limits on themselves and excuse their behavior, but it's really just a way of underachieving and aiming low enough not to miss. So I feel like you need to get rid of the idea that you only have a specific set of skills. I have a specific set of skills. and talents for specific tasks. Stop thinking that you're not as intelligent as the next person. And what life requires of you is to make the most of yourself, and for others. So with me, you can't tell me that I can't do shit. If there's something that I don't know, that I cannot do, I will never say, oh, I can't do that. Because Google's my friend. The library is my friend. We have so many ways to search and research and teach ourselves.
Okay.
Or if you can't teach yourself, take a fucking class. Like, I am so, like, interested in always, like,
Learning.
educating myself. Yes, and learning new things.
Remember when we first were writing the song and the words that I came up with? She got the brains.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Perfect example. So when
This is a
we were writing the
perfect
song, she
example.
was like, she got the brains, I got the jokes. And first I was like, first of all, I'm funny too, bitch. So you better say we got the jokes. And then I'm like, why would you say she got the brains? We're both intelligent.
And I was like,
we
that's
both.
what I said. I'm like, because you're a little bit more organized than me and you could put everything together. And she was more like, no, bitch, we both doing this. Like,
all, yeah,
it-
we're
it's
all.
not like you can't separate it. And that's when I was like,
Yeah, so your,
nigga, I be a little bit, you
For
know,
real.
knowing stuff too sometimes.
your brain might not work as fast as someone. You might not crunch
Right.
numbers as fast as someone.
Right.
You may not believe you're good at math, but you can always learn. Maybe it takes you a little slower. I mean,
To add and
longer
subtract.
than
I may
other
not be
people.
good at algebra, but I know how to add and track these dollar bills.
Me
Well,
too.
it's just that you're always going to be your biggest critic. I know I'm my biggest
True.
critic.
No, I'm
So
my
I'm-
biggest critic.
Yeah.
I'm over here sweating like a whore in church right now.
And
Oh,
saying
Lord
all the
Jesus.
lines in the mirror.
Oh.
But even if you are your biggest critic, right? Because I am too. That doesn't mean you're telling yourself that you cannot do something.
Of course.
I can do whatever the fuck I want to do.
Oh my God.
I'm not a pilot, and if I want to learn how to fly, if I want to fly a plane, I'm gonna learn. The education, I mean, it's out. The resources are out there. Just teach yourself. Stop telling yourself that you can't do anything.
I can.
I know I can
Listen to this
Be what I want to be.
be what I want to be.
If I work hard at it.
If I
work hard at it.
I be what I want to be. Everybody in the back.
I know I can.
You looking for them?
Yeah.
You looking for the people?
In the back.
Oh, it's almost time to wrap up. But yes, so we didn't get to spend a lot of time at that. But I do want everyone to start from today by telling yourself, like, stop saying you cannot do something.
Mm-hmm.
You can. It may take you a little bit longer, but you can do it. There's so many resources out.
I want you guys to stand in front of the mirror and
Go
look
over
at
your
yourself and say, I forgot.
Right, that was about to be real empowering.
That was really gonna be good too. Or listen to on YouTube. There's
I
so
know,
many
I think-
great pride.
I think
I have power. I'm a bad mother who don't take cotton from nobody. Say it again.
y'all can see who the sane one
That's
is.
what I
here.
was trying to say. I just couldn't remember.
Cool Runnings. Shout out to Cool Runnings. I wish it was cooler in here and I didn't have this fucking mustache.
We're all sweating.
My nose is itching.
My
But
ass is
I'm
wet.
hot.
I want y'all to say it again.
This must be what the stripper back room smell like, because right now, you know how after they get off the stage, after they call them to the stage, because in here feel like
so good.
they skin be so soft.
Chocolate Thunder come to the stage.
I think that's lotion and
exfoliate
oil.
every single day.
Nice
I don't know
lotion
what
and
it
it's a
is,
mixture.
But I just be want to like.
Rub them.
Okay, so as we come to a close, everyone, for our homework, I would like us to pick something that we don't think that we're good at.
Oh man, she makes us work.
I fucking hate homework. So.
Pick something that you're not so good
Get
at.
the cliff notes on this.
Ayana, pick 2 things so I could borrow one because you wasn't here last
Oh my God.
Is that real?
week.
You know, all West,
Fucking hate West
all,
Indian
all
calls.
West Indian people, they can't laugh without coughing. Drink some water.
I think the TB is just in
Right,
there.
because I always assume you got something once you start coughing.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
my
pick
Cough
some-
again.
or,
She's trying to
okay,
hold
if you
it
don't
down.
want to pick something, let's from today take I can't out of our vocabulary.
No, I think we should pick
Instead
something.
of saying I
pick
can't do something, just say I don't know the answer right now, but I can get back to you.
Copy.
Or I
This
don't
bitch
know
sound
how
like
to do
work.
that, and I can figure out how to do it.
Yeah, you don't put limits on yourself.
Do you guys want to pick something?
Yeah.
I could definitely pick something.
Okay, we'll pick something, and then what do we have to do with it? Quick, because it's time to go.
Post it. Let's get more active. Let's post it so people can see.
Yeah, but what are we gonna do once we pick it? Like
I have
We
no
gonna
idea.
decide, y'all. We gonna
Twerk.
post it for each person.
No, so you know what? So say you're not good at cooking, right?
And cook a dish.
Make a meal for someone.
I could cook. I just hate cooking.
Now make a meal.
Pick
for
something
your-
you're not
your
good at
man.
and do it for someone.
Arriving on time.
I'm not good
Yes.
at having uncomfortable conversations.
Start over again.
I
Start.
love having uncomfortable conversations.
I can have
I can do that
uncomfortable
with you.
conversations,
I mean,
right?
I
Or
thrive.
I'm going to learn how to have uncomfortable conversations.
I'm gonna learn how to say no.
Yes.
Fact. I'm gonna learn how to ask for shit.
Please, because this
Please.
bitch
Right.
got a boyfriend and be broke. That don't make no fucking sense.
Closing quote.
Okay,
Right.
okay, my bad. Whoopsie. All right. So thank you for listening.
Episode 7, bitches.
Yes. And our quote today is believe in your infinite potential. Your only limitations are those you set upon yourself. Believe in yourself, your abilities, and your own potential. Never let self-doubt hold you captive. Thanks for listening, guys.
Bye.
Be fast.